Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. Today we're doing something a little out of the ordinary for this channel. It's not guitars, it's not painting. We're actually going to be tuning up the edges of a snowboard. So first off, I apologize for the noise. There's a machine running right here. We're doing some fabrication work. I kind of need to keep an eye on it. So yeah, hopefully this microphone kind of deals with that, but if not, sorry about that. So today we're going to be tuning up the edges of my snowboard here. I realized that it wasn't stored properly last time, so it's got some rust and just generally kind of needs to be sharpened anyway. So I'm going to show you guys how I do that. I just downloaded an app that allows me to track my vertical speed on the mountain, so my life expectancy has gone down substantially, but in any event, we're going to go in with a simple file here, and I'm going to show you how to do this at home, in the shop, wherever you want. Now the tool requirements for this are very limited, very cheap. You're going to want a glass of water because it's part of the process, and a diamond file essentially. So this is just a little diamond stone file. They come in a variety of shapes and sizes, but you want a relatively small one for this. You can just buy them on Amazon. It's a piece of cake. There's an Amazon link in the description. I know you guys, a couple of you are probably going to ask. I haven't specifically linked one of these in there, so don't worry about that. Although my understanding is if you go through my link, it doesn't matter if you buy something that's linked, a guitar kit, a computer, or a Justin Bieber poster, I still get credit for it. But anyway, we're gonna wet this to make it work easier. We're gonna use a paper towel to wipe off the shavings that come after. So if anybody's done any sharpening work before, which is essentially what this is, you'll find that it takes off a little bit of the metal shaving. That's how it sharpens. It removes a little bit of metal. So we're gonna wipe all of that off as we go, because unlike a water stone, we don't need that on there to sharpen it. I'm gonna do something here to help me set this up. I don't have snowboard clamps or anything. This is just a little DIY project. I'm not, this isn't what I do for a living. So I'm just gonna put a crate, actually, like that so it doesn't interfere with my stomp pad. And now I'm well set up to be able to do this even at a height that's gonna make it easier for me. This will work on skis too, so don't worry if you're using skis, they also have metal edges. Let's be clear, I am not a professional at this. This isn't, like I said, my job. So there are probably other ways to do this, but this works for me. I find it gives me a nice edge and allows me to go faster than I ever should. I'm gonna bring you in a little closer so you can see exactly what I'm doing here, and we'll get to work. You'll find that this is actually a pretty easy process. Okay, so first things first. I can feel, and you won't be able to hear it, but I can feel a huge burr on here. This is actually, there's not supposed to be a burr. The metal isn't supposed to be rolled over. It's supposed to be almost a straight corner with a little bit of an angle that way from the top. Most of these have a fine and a coarse side. If your board's in very good condition, I'm just stirring some water with it. If your board's in really good condition, you're probably going to be able to get away with using the fine side for everything, which is nice, but mine isn't. So I'm going to take a couple swipes at this with the coarse side first. I'm going to move this to the edge of this so I can do it in longer strokes. And I'm just using my thumb as a guide and holding it so that it's angled and slightly angled and only on the metal. I don't want to be scraping around on the bottom of the board. I got to wax this thing too, but anyway, I'm just going to, you can hear it taking the junk off. And there's a little bit of rust on here that I can see it removing. It takes a minute to do it, but as you go, you'll be able to wipe off the excess, and that's actually metal shavings, which tells me I'm actually doing some sharpening here, as I should be. Extra junky right there. Lots of metal coming off. All right. So for guys like me who ride mountain, mostly like fairly aggressive mountain stuff, you want to make sure you'll probably have a camber board instead of a rocker board, which means that the board is bowed in the middle and you get most of your pressure points on the outside here, because that allows you to grip faster, or better rather, at high speeds, as opposed to being able to spin and twirl and all that other stuff. So you want to make sure you pay attention to these areas, because these are the parts that make the most contact. Now, after you've done the top, and I still have to do the other side and everything, but after you've done the top, it should feel nice and smooth from the top, okay? And then I'm gonna come back with the fine grit after, but anyway, feel nice and smooth from the top, and you'll really feel that burr on this edge because you've kind of pushed the metal over a little bit. So the next step is fairly straightforward. You're just gonna come in from the side, make sure that you're actually straight up and down. I use my finger as a guide underneath. And if you've got a stone that's just by itself, you can hold it more parallel, but I don't. So you're gonna come in like this and do that edge too. Clean that all up. And that should feel smooth from both sides. Yeah, that feels much better. Okay, so we'll clean that off too. I'm just going to show you guys on this section of the board, and then I'll go fix the rest after. But that's basically all there is to it. Now, because mine was in pretty rough condition, I have to come back because I had to do the coarse grit. I have to come back with the fine grit, finish it up. And we want to make sure that this edge is basically polished after, not quite, but nice and shiny. And the fine grit should go much faster because you've already done the bulk of the work if you had to go in with the coarse grit beforehand. And there we go. Nice sharp edge. Now I just have the rest of the board to do. And there we go, guys. Nice, clean, sharp edges, ready to ride. You can feel as you run your hand along them. They don't have a bunch of burrs on them or anything. They're not really rough and crappy like they were before. Now this board's about 15 years old, so there are some dings and nicks in here, but I can't really file those all the way out because I'd have no edge left because I ride like an idiot. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to give it a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already so that you can see the other stuff that I'm working on, and stay tuned. I'm going to be doing a wax job on this using a heat gun. I don't use an iron. I've got kind of my own DIY at-home technique for it. So let me know if you guys are interested in seeing that, and I might do a video of that as well. Like I said, have a good one. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.